In this brief presentation, I'm going to show you how our POPIA Cloud platform can help you through your POPIA journey in managing all aspects of your POPIA journey, from managing your clients, your data mapping, through to your internal stakeholders, i.e. your staff, as well as any suppliers or areas in your business where you share information and you require information sharing agreements in place. So just to give you a highlight, you can see here at the top, the system is broken into three parts. The first layer is your operational side, which is basically your reporting area. The third layer is I like to call it your heartbeat of the system, which deals with your data mapping, managing your data subjects, your governance in terms of your privacy notices, any other internal policy documents that you may have. And then, of course, your stakeholder communication deals with your internal management of your staff. And then, of course, your last layer is the third level, which deals with all your operators. In POPIA, that refers to all your suppliers. And, of course, information sharing. There may be certain templates that we have in our system that are pre-built, and I will show you and demonstrate that to you a little bit later. The last part, and probably just as important as everywhere else, is the ability to do a privacy impact assessment, manage your data subject access requests, i.e. when people refer to asking for information, for their personal information to be removed from the system. And then, of course, your security compromise management deals with managing any breaches that you may have, whether it's a laptop that's been stolen out of a boot of a car, or a breach of data, whether it was through some sort of phishing scam. Okay, so just to quickly give you a highlight, on the reporting side, on my compliance audit, you'll see it's quite easy to work. Looking at all these dials, it shows me very clearly what and where we stand as a business. I obviously have other operational dashboard views. So, for example, I can have a different view and look to see who are the people that are in my team, and to see if I hover my mouse over, I can see that Russell hasn't started 36 tasks that has been assigned to him. I can obviously go and deal with that when I see him. By task owner, you can see there's obviously different task owners are relevant for people that might not be in my POPIA project team, but I may allocate certain tasks to those individuals, and they will obviously log on and deal with those tasks as necessary. Or I can see it also by section. So you'll see the change of my screen, and obviously these are the different sections within my POPIA program, and again at a glance I can see where we stand. More importantly, obviously, as I scroll down, as you can see, I've got 4 operator contracts loaded on my demo system, and obviously I haven't had any of them signed, but again, just that visual cue of where you stand with regards to your POPIA journey. Okay, if I go back to my main screen, I just want to give you some highlights around the data mapping. Obviously, this is a very, very important section. Obviously, your data mapping, as I mentioned, this is your heartbeat of your system. As you can see, I've got a few departments that I have selected over here. Without going into each area, I'm going to show you what my data mapping looks like from a visual perspective. So here you can see I've mapped out my employees, and with my employees, I've obviously got these different data subjects that have been set up. And then, of course, how do we process the information? And of course, I can also see how do we collect the data. So the same thing, but just with different views where I've included and how we collect the information from our employees. Okay. My governance records, this is probably one of the best parts of the system. I absolutely love this, is that as and when I start updating my data subject types, obviously my privacy notice is automatically updated. You can see that I haven't completed my data mapping. There's my visual cue there. But the nice thing is you can see, obviously, I put in my web address, and you'll see what happens is once I've published my notice, it generates the HTML code, which we'll obviously give to our web developers to link onto our websites. And basically that document will look something like this. And these templated documents are all pre-built in the system. Obviously what you can do, you can use your own content. So obviously we give you the structures, but I can come in here and type in my own information. We can also, for example, publish the same when it comes to your employee privacy notices. And then, of course, this area here, these last three pieces, my internal, optional, and document library, deals with any policy documents that we may have or may want to use. And again, we provide you with these templates already pre-built in the system. So, for example, over here, for my CCTV policy, you can see I've set this as a completed item because I want to include this, because a lot of people don't know is that CCTV cameras do store videos and images of individuals as they come into your organization. And again, here is a template. I can just say use templated item, or I can use my own content as required. Going back to my main screen under my stakeholder communication, again, you can see, I can visually see what needs to happen at any given point in time. I can see at this particular point, there's some checklists that haven't been completed. If I go into my checklist from here, I can see that there are some tasks that have been allocated to individuals, but I can see here, for example, Lebogang obviously hasn't even started this particular task. Obviously, I can raise now questions in this regard. As we go through these checklists and make sure that they are relevant to our business, obviously your checklist will improve. And then, of course, your compliance section here, as you can see, 84% is basically demonstrating to me that 84% of my staff have not accepted or read the documentation, our policy documents, which have been sent out as an email notification to them. Here you can see there at the top here are the different policy documents that we have on our system. And of course, I can see that Olivia, for example, has received the documents because of the color of the particular star. Obviously, once they've read it and accepted it, that star changes into green to say that they've read and accepted that particular policy. Okay, briefly, if I go back down, if I go into my operator contracts, again, there's my checklists that I can go through, my various operator contracts I can set up. You can see I've got a few that I have set up here, for example. If I go into the templated contract, I just want to show you before I get there, if I go edit, under this particular center for this particular supplier, obviously I can load all their basic information, but I can also, if it is a contract, if I've got a particular contract, a 3-year contract or 5-year contract, whatever the case is, I can obviously do some sort of basic contract management with my supplier, managing that information. And again, further to that, I can obviously add in any additional information, the types relating to personal information or special personal information types that I may share with this particular supplier. And similarly, if I have any operational sharing, information sharing agreements, you'll see the screens look very much the same. The only difference is, for example, the number of records that I may share with them. Again, you've got your contract management here at the bottom, where I can set my start and stop dates. Obviously, I can allocate my estimated number of records, which helps me manage those particular contracts. Just to go back here, just to show you, if I download this particular agreement, all the information that I may have included in opening that, you'll see it. It'll open the document, and there is my contract that has been pre-populated with the information that we've added into that. And you can see it's a nice, short and sweet contract. Okay, go back there. The last part of the system, as I've mentioned, just as important, very important, is especially obviously on the security compromise management. There are various steps that's required from the information regulator. When I manage, and I need to keep a strong audit trail of our process. As you can see here, for example, our system automatically generates the letters to the regulator, the data subject notification, and obviously the incident report. And having this audit trail is key critical. So just to give an idea of what the information regulator letter looks like, it will just basically give them a synopsis of the incident, and obviously there it fills out all the information that's that you don't have to worry about, and then obviously just send that on to the information regulator. All right, well, that's the brief demo. If you would like to go into more detail, please reach out to us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching our video. Thank you. Bye-bye.